this, but just warning you.
Do you have a Facebook All right, you're live.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is going to be a regular, hopefully a regular communication, and we'll try to do so twice a day, every day during this time. We realize it's a stressful time. Just want to thank especially our staff that are listening for your leadership, for your guidance for our students during this time. And on behalf of the Board of Education, want to thank all of our administration. I know we're in our uncharted territory, but we're going through that together, and we're in communication with the health departments, with government entities, with our neighboring school districts, our service unit, just addressing a lot of the issues and trying to make some data-informed leadership decisions. The aggravating part, I know, for everyone, including us as leaders, is that sometimes that data doesn't quite come in as fast as we would like it to, and the decisions are sometimes being made for the first time in history. So there's no easy answers. Please, during these broadcasts, so we're live on YouTube. We have a few people in the room with me here today, some directors, and we also have someone monitoring the chat on the YouTube. If you have a question and would like to pose that on chat, please feel free to do so. Just a reminder to our staff that this meeting is going to be followed up by your individual staff meetings at your buildings by your principal, and they may be able to address some questions as well. Just like to start with an update on COVID-19 and our closing. As you know, we are closed. Our facilities are closed to the public starting tomorrow, March 17th through the 27th. They'll be open to employees only. Visitors will not be allowed. If you need to visit the schools, please contact the schools ahead of time. Call the school that you wish to be attending if you're not an employee. As of now, there are no confirmed cases of community spread coronavirus in Dakota County. And as far as we know, in the metro area or our service unit. So our rationale for closing is to join with our regional partners, our statewide partners, and even nationwide and globally to be proactive about preventing the community spread of coronavirus. Today, a couple of announcements have occurred, and some more will be occurring at 3:30. There is a press announcement, a joint press conference of state leaders, our governor, and also the Nebraska Department of Education. But leading up to that, the NSAA has also announced that all practices and activities are canceled through March 30th. We currently are not meeting for the next 2 weeks, but we will follow any guidelines that come from the state level in that case. Personnel at this time, like I said, just a huge thanks. The direction right now to prevent community spread is a social distancing. The most recent, I think now from the federal level, is less than 10 people. So we will try not to gather in groups of 10 or more. Up till just a few minutes ago, it was 50 or more. And yesterday it was 250 or more. So it changes almost by the hour or minute. And there may be more direction that comes from the state level later today. So at this time, all staff will be reporting to work as usual on a daily basis to your regular positions. Regular working hours will remain in place. If you have reasons for needing to not be at work, our regular sick leave policy continues to apply and has also expanded because of some of the coronavirus criteria. So if you have family leave and you need to use that related to childcare for your children, grandchildren, or have medical needs yourself or relatives, you will be granted sick leave or personal leave for the next 2 days. Up to that point, on Wednesday, we have a scheduled board meeting and there will be more direction coming. So we have a special board meeting at 4 o'clock on Wednesday. We have been in consultation with our legal counsel, with our association leadership. We are a unique district in that we have 5 different bargaining associations. They all have their individual contracts and rules that we need to abide by. And we just need to get some legal guidance and also make some decisions that I'm not able to make alone as a superintendent. I need some board direction on what we want to do regarding employees and possible leave in the future for the next 2 weeks, and then should the closure extend beyond that. But for right now, the regular sick leave applies, and also family leave will apply, personal leave. When that is exhausted, there may be some decisions that we'll have to make from the board level. Nutrition services, been working hard. The cabinet members have been working hard along with our lunchtime solutions providers to develop a nutrition services plan. It basically will move into a summer feeding type of mode that'll be done at the building level. There'll be grab and go meals for breakfast and lunch. They'll be available daily from 8 to 11 at each building. And they'll be delivered by the lunchtime solution staff in a drive-through format at this time. Those of you that know something about summer school feeding, it's a little more loose. We will not have to have students type in their codes or require that. So we'll be able to provide that with some social distancing applied and still meet the nutrition needs of our district. We plan to begin that on Wednesday, possibly. Like I said, we are going to try to share updates every morning. So whether you are at work, in school, at home, a stakeholder, please just stay abreast to our website, our social media sites, and we will broadcast any changes to that. And that will, in the future, include nutrition services information. Starting tomorrow, we will have a tentative agenda and plans for all of our employees. So like I said, report to your normal positions, your normal building. Your principal or your supervisor will be in charge of delivering those tentative plans for work and continue to do that going forward. We are treating this as a precautionary measure, but also we want to continue to move forward as much as possible with the education of our children, and need to keep providing curriculum, possible plans for delivery, revising those plans. There may be professional development involved. There's some needs that we need to take care of with personnel that we can do on those days as well. And so those agendas will be provided and shared as soon as they're available. And they will be created, hopefully planned out, but maybe on a daily basis at times. I guess one thing I can say to our employees is make sure that your employee contact information is up to date. It's going to be very vital during this time that we have your address, email, phone number, all the venues that you want to be contacted by up to date in our records. Coming up, your principals are going to share some agenda items. I know that some employees have been posting questions to Google Docs, which we appreciate. Like I said, please just stick with us. We're going to stick with you. Trust us in that we will respond to those questions. The answer isn't always going to be the one that you prefer, but we are trying to make data-informed leadership decisions based on advice from many entities, county, statewide, health, and governmental agencies involved also. Some questions that have popped up that I can address, and then I have some people in the room that are fielding questions that are popping up, so they'll forward those to me. You have your normal report time. There's a question about staff attire. That's going to be jeans and cardinal attire for our staff. You'll get a 1-hour lunch on your own. The live updates are going to be coming at 8:30 every day, 8:30 a.m. currently, and one in the afternoon as well, just like this one's being delivered, but that one might be on the fly, depending on if we have more information or other press conferences that we have to schedule around. Your principals are going to share what the agenda is at your staff meeting that's upcoming after this with you. People are asking what will we be doing when we show up. Classified staff, same thing. That agenda will be shared with you from your building principals in your upcoming meetings. You guys in the room getting any questions? That's my agenda that I had covered there.
Yeah, one question is, will we have to make up these days for staff and students?
Okay. Question is, will we have to make up these days for staff and students? More directions will be coming from the Commissioner of Education and our governor, but the Commissioner of Education at this time has said that the hours, educational instructional hours required, not to worry about those, worry about the health of our district at this time. That does not answer the question about the staff, though, the certified negotiated agreements and the staff days. That is something, like I said, we're going to have to discuss at the board level and make some decisions on. And we have not gotten specific directions about what that looks like on the hours. There's all kinds of things surrounding that, all kinds of concerns. The bottom line concern is, are we delivering the education that we need to for our children to meet some of their educational goals, whether that be graduation, college entrance, or advancement to the next grade level. So regardless of hours or staff days, we're all in this business for the education of our students, and that's a high priority and concern of mine. I know yours as well. So we will continue to deliver curriculum and try to do our best there.
Wait, were you done with that one? Sorry.
Yes, done with that
We
one.
have a question from the high school that asks, is it / will it be possible for staff to work from home?
Yes, there's a possibility of that. Right now, we are requiring staff to come to work so that we can meet with you in person, but I know we are all creative. We have some abilities to develop some lesson plans possibly to do that. If you are staying at home for sickness, symptoms, health reasons, caregiving, like I said, please fill out your sick leave form as usual and let your building supervisor know. But there is a chance that we will, still be able to let you communicate based on how healthy you are from home. But that, I think, is going to be an ongoing conversation. Much of that depends on the length of this closure. And right now we're at 2 weeks. That we may be able to come back at the end of those 2 weeks. It may be extended. So thanks for that question.
I think we answered this a little bit earlier with the principals too, or an earlier conversation, but we are getting questions about attire.
Yeah, like I said earlier, attire for our staff is jeans and cardinal wear from this point forward until we reconvene with students.
I got a question from Dakota City here, and Laura asking if people in the community are reaching out to make food donations for our families, how should we proceed and what should we tell them?
At this time, we will direct all that through our county health agencies. There's a command center being set up as we speak at the law enforcement center. We will get direction from them, and I would expect that our county emergency management director will be taking the lead on that shortly.
Yep. Thank you. I think too, when you answered a little bit ahead earlier with we are going to try and provide some meals from food service.
Yes.
So
yeah, we will be providing feeding for our students. That's going to be done through a drive-through delivery type system by Lunchtime Solutions.
All right. Anybody else got any more questions?
And the same also, Mr. Strum, would apply for special needs students. What's the approach on that? How are they going to be cared for? Or, how does that work?
Yeah, there's all kinds of special needs guidelines that we will continue to follow in that curriculum delivery. But yes, they will be cared for just as all of our students will be.
So I have one more here. Can we bring our children to school if we don't have daycare?
Like I said, some of these decisions are forthcoming. They'll be dependent upon our board action, but at this time, no, employees only for our staff. Yes, if you feel the need to provide childcare or care for your own children at home in that situation, up until I'm directed differently by our school board, the sick leave would apply for those cases or personal days.
I got a question here from someone on YouTube asking about extracurricular activities, sports, the musical, etc. Are they going to be postponed?
Yes, all those activities have been postponed until March 30th. That includes everything from practices to the actual performance or contests. And in fact, our students have been directed as of today to clean out their lockers so we can disinfect and clean. That includes athletic lockers. Take everything that you would need with you, personal belongings, for the length of this closure and possible future closings.
We just got another Let's Talk question here about why is it safe to have a live broadcast, and they're asking about it's okay for teachers to come to be to work and be in meetings, but it's not okay, be off. So basically,
Sure.
We've gotten that before. I think you've kind of answered it. Can you just re-clarify that? What the difference is between having students here and having
Sure. Yeah, the question's about the difference between having students here, having us sitting in this room. We just have a few people here. None of us are exhibiting symptoms. None of us feel ill or know that we have been exposed in a community exposure situation. So we are feeling safe in that environment. Like I said before, if you do not feel that you are healthy or can safely come to work and you're one of our employees, you feel that you or your family member has been put in a compromising situation and you've been exposed, or you're actually experiencing symptoms, or you are sick, as always, take advantage of our sick leave policy and stay home. And we will have to make some decisions from the board level if our closure extends past the existing 2-week closure. What that looks like, I don't know. So, like I said, uncharted territory, and we'll have to make some tough decisions.
All right, I think I'm good. Jetski, are you having
Yep,
more questions? You
I'm
good?
good.
All right. I think I know there are some more questions out there, and I think we talked earlier about some of those that we're just going to have to chip away at down the road, or they're very important, but they might not be timely right now.
Sure. Continue to communicate with your great leaders, your principals. Let them know if you have questions. Well, our plan is, like I said, we will meet every morning at 8 o'clock as a cabinet level, all of our directors, and then we will have an 8:30. We'll touch base, see what the latest updates are that we need to share, and then we'll have an 8:30 live broadcast until we change that schedule.
I have one more question come in on YouTube here, and they ask, is age alone over 60 in brackets a good enough reason to take sick time?
I can't answer that. I would say we have an age discrimination policy right off the cuff. We don't discriminate against any age, but and I don't think the virus does discriminate either, from my understanding. So my advice right now, just without any health advice, would be if you have symptoms or sick, regardless of your age, please feel free to use your sick time and stay at home.
Self-report.
And self-report, yes. Thank you for your great questions.
We had another one.
I know it's
Someone asked, can you hold an emergency board meeting? And I believe you are.
yes. This is a special board meeting held Wednesday at 4 p.m. You can have an emergency board meeting, but like I said, at this time, the board has given me the authority to express that sick time can be used for all these cases. Whether that will continue to be the case, I can't speak to that.
All right, so we'll check in again tomorrow, and we'll send out any other information that comes up more. If we have to, we'll cut another live one in, but as of now, we're just going to send out an email if needed in the meantime. Otherwise, we'll check back in tomorrow live and go from there.
Yeah, sure. And thank you, everyone, especially our valued employees. And just know that we appreciate everything you're doing, all the questions, but also the understanding and patience. And we'll try to answer as many questions as possible. But thank you all for delivering the great education to our students and providing for their safety, as has become even more important in these times. Thanks again. Have a good afternoon and a great night.
Somebody just added